From OK Mountain Bike. Another rainy day here in the Okanagan, so I just wanted to give you a little update on my Remedy 8, give you some tricks and some hints on setting up a new bike for all you newbies like I was out there. This is my first full suspension. My last one was a giant hardtail. This is full squish front and rear. First off, I just want to update you on some of the upgrades that I have done to the bike. I have put on my Schwalbe hands down. They are running tubeless front and rear. I'm running 21 in the back and 24 in the front. Seems to work really well for me. Again, I got hands down both front and rear. I got the Trail Star in the front and the Pace Star in the back. Also, I changed out my chainring. This is the original one that came with it here, which is your SRAM 32 tooth. I switched it out for this nice 28 tooth, North Shore billet 28 tooth. I did have to change the bolts here because, as you see, the chain will hit my spider, so the bolts actually sit out far enough and hold the chainring out so it clears it without any problem at all. It works really well. It's great for climbing. I've also added WTB seat, nice on the old tushy, and the Chromag Fubar bars, which I'm going to get to why I added those in a minute. And also I've added the new grips. I got carpal tunnel and these seem to have helped really well. I've only used them for the last 2 rides. One was a fairly long ride and it was great. The last one up on the Test of Humanity, I did get a little bit of numbness, but I think I just don't have them adjusted properly. Other than that, pretty much everything is stock, other than, of course, my SPD pedals. So the first thing you guys need to do is, for all you newbies out there, is set your sag. There are many videos out there on setting the sag. I'll leave some links in the description so you guys can follow on how to properly set up your sag. Once you set up your sag, everybody thinks that's good. Well, not necessarily. I had quite an issue. Is when I was riding, especially going down, it felt like I was going to go over the handlebars, and it was very discerning for me, and it took me a lot of trial and error, and I finally figured out what the issue was. The rise on the handlebars, that helped it. The air pressure in my front pike, I had it at the lower end instead of the higher end. I've now got it at the higher end. It's much more better for me. And I've also changed the rebound on the back, so it's not bucking anymore. All those little things helped me immensely. So please, everybody out there, set up your sag and your shocks to the manufacturers or to whatever they say for your weight, and then play with it. Because if you don't play with it, you won't get it dialed in right for you. Now, after probably 10 good rides, or maybe even 15 really good rides, I've pretty much got this bike dialed in for me. And anybody else jumped on it would probably think it's crap, but for me, it works really well. So I really want to stress, play with your settings, your fork settings, your charger settings, play with your rebound. Not too much, just a click here and a click there, either way. Don't overdo it because you don't want to get bucked off, or you don't want the shock not to respond to that next bump coming up. Also, for you newbies out there, clean your bike. I mean, this bike it's been so wet out here. It's been getting muddy, really muddy all the time. I'll show you some pictures of it. And as you can see, it gets muddy. So clean it, make sure your drivetrain is clean. I just finished lubing up my chain ring and my chain. I make sure that it's clean. The bike, make sure it's clean, because you spend a lot of money on these things. You want them to last. You don't want that dirt to ingrain itself and harm the rest of your bike. Again, I've got the SRAM GX group set, so You know, I've got it set up so it's wonderful. And my brakes, one touch and stop. So just like anybody else out there, you just play with it, get it dialed in. Don't be afraid to mess with some stuff, and do it to, of course, your own comfort level, but experiment with your bike. Talk to your local bike shops, hook up with them on Facebook. A lot of them have some after hours training on how to fix bikes. I went to one on suspension up at Psychopath in Kelowna. It was great because you had a professional teacher there, went all over how the front and rear shocks work. They tore them apart. They showed us how they go back together, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. And then after that, we had one of the professional shop mechanics look at our bikes and give us some hints. That's where I found out about the bucking and just fine tuning and playing with my shocks. Again, trial and error, but once you get it dialed in, it is a lot of fun. Again, Wayne from OK Mountain Bike, ride safe.